Am I audible, sir?
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How do I switch to?
Just a second, sir. I just stopped screen sharing. I think now you can. Hello, Noor, sir. Nice to see you again after a long time.
Hello, Divya. Doing good, thank you. How are you?
Great, sir. Great. Thank you so much.
Fantastic.
Hello, Dr. Sirisha. Hi. Hello, Dr. Anthony.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are. You have presentation, sir? Yeah. Your screen is now being shared. Yeah.
Is it visible?
Yes, sir, it is visible. Can you try keeping it in slideshow?
Yes, it's getting started.
Yes. So first, I'll share my screen, sir. I'll quickly introduce about FABA to everyone for 5 minutes. And then you can start screen sharing again, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Sure, sir. Since it's already 7, people keep joining when we are starting our session. So I'll quickly start about FABA and then you can quickly.
I should do something related to.
Nothing, sir. Nothing. I'm just stopping your. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm stopping your presentation right now. Yeah, I'll share my side. My screen is visible, right? Yeah. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. It's great to have you all here. This is 14th FABA Friday, and I would like to thank you, Dr. Prasad, for quickly agreeing our invitation. Thank you so much, sir, for your kindly agreeing. And we are eager to hear what's your ideation to entrepreneurship, your journey, and how it got. What are the phases that you have, troubles that you have faced, and everything. So let me quickly, briefly introduce you about FABA for quick 5 minutes, and then you can take over the session. So Federation of Asian Biotech Associations is like a world where academy, industries, governments collaborate together to transform lives, to create a better future for life science students, professionals, startups, and industries. So this is a non-profit organization established in 2004 with a global presence across 22 countries in Asia and Africa. So FABA dares to dream big. Its mission is to spearhead the innovation and entrepreneurship in the biotech industry, academia, and healthcare sector. By connecting brightest minds and fostering collaborations, FABA is already shaping the world of tomorrow. To achieve its ambitious goals, FABA has developed 3-pronged strategies, which is to champion the interests of biotechnology, ensuring its growth and development, to unite the academy, industries, and government bodies in Asia, creating a powerhouse of collaboration, and to open doors to international partnerships, expanding opportunities for everyone. So as a unifying force, as you can see, for various stakeholders, FABA bridges the gap between pharma, biopharma, life science sectors, which ignites the spark that propels the industry forward. So basically, FABA is a biotechnology ecosystem builder and enabler. These are our patrons and advisors of FABA. And these are our main think tank of FABA, who are executive council members, the brains behind the FABA. They are the pioneers in the industry and academy. These are our international chapters that we have currently and active, and we have new prospective chapters coming up as well. So FABA's workshops and conferences serves as an arena where greatest minds convene, exchange ideas, and tackle the world's most pressing challenges. So this was on supply chain challenges on COVID-19 vaccines. We did with Indian government. And sir, you were part of this. You were one of the
Yes.
organizers for this global workshop on implementation of state action plan for containment of AMR. And then we have given a mandate to them on how an AMR mandate should be there. And then this was on Hyderabad Life Science Innovation Cluster Meet, where top 10 academy and industries have collaborated together to transfer their ideas and for the translational research. Yeah. So what is actually FABA Academy? FABA Academy is like a platform that equips professionals with skills they need in life science industry. It is a launchpad established in 2020 to empower individuals with webinars, skill development workshops, hands-on trainings, job placements, women empowerment programs, and many more. So these are some of our FABA Academy activities that we have done so far from 2020. And this was our recent FABA Fridays initiative that you are here, why we are here on. And then this is the 14th FABA Friday, where we have weekly get-together meetings on a particular topic. And today is on ideation to entrepreneurship. We collaborate with each other and connect with each other. So this is an exciting opportunity for all, where in Hyderabad, we are on 16 September, we are conducting a career connect where you can have an opportunity to meet 400 analytical companies. You can have professional photo taking sessions. You can do self-evaluation and check what you are up to in your career, and then you can grow and network with each other. You can see how a live interview will take place, and you can get your resume interviewed and whatnot. Everything takes place at Career Connect, and this is a must attend event. And this is our recent initiative, FABA Recruit, where we give all the opportunities on that are there in life sciences, like internship, projects, scholarships, jobs, everything will be there. And then you can check our website, which will be kept in the chat box there. So FABA Entrepreneurship is like another wing, which is a launchpad in 2022, which is a connector for startups and industry. Like it nurtures the connections, provides invaluable mentorship, and open doors to opportunities, ensuring a thriving ecosystem for growth and success for all the startups. So as you can see, the ripple effect of FABA is astonishing, with over 12,000 plus trained individuals and 100 plus workshops. FABA's influence has felt far and wide, revolutionizing the life science community in Asia and now in Africa too. Yeah. So as we look into FABA's future, FABA has prepared an excited lineup of programs. You can have a screenshot of this, or we'll post everything in the chat box. You can have an overlook into it. How can you support FABA? You can propose an initiative, you can donate or sponsor our events, or you can take a membership, join us as a team, provide your mentorship, and provide access to your resources. This is the basic annual membership fee for students and all. I'll post everything in the chat box. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so much for listening. Over to you, sir. And before you talk, sorry, I'll quickly introduce who Professor Prasad Burra is, for those who don't know. Dr. Burra is an distinguished scholar, boasts a PhD in MBU IISc Bangalore, a BTech from Angro AP, and an MSc in Biotech from SLS University of Hyderabad. His prowess spans structural biology, bioinformatics, software development, innovation, and entrepreneurship, and whatnot. Currently, he is a professor and head of the Center for Advanced Research and Innovation in Structural Biology of Diseases at KLEF University, AP, India. So ongoing project grants from ICMR, DST, SCRP, DST, NSM, and MSME showcase his academia and industry synergy. Having held prominent administrative roles, including NAC chairperson, Dr. Burra excels in pioneering research such as peptide-based precision vaccinology and innovative drug design for TB, COVID-19, and cancer. His MSME-backed initiative span ethical antibody generation, revolutionary precision food wearables, and cutting-edge software applications for biological sciences. Dr. Burra's multidisciplinary accomplishments reflect his commitment to innovation, ethics, and transformative research, resonating through the academy and entrepreneurial landscape. Thank you so much, sir. We are excited to hear what you are up to and what are the projects that you are currently doing and everything. Thank you so much, sir. Over to you.
So can I share my slide and start off?
Yes, sir. Yes, definitely.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. And first of all, I should pay my respects and gratitude to Professor Redana sir. From School of Life Sciences, my MSc onwards, he has been my mentor. And I extend my warm regards to all the patrons of FABA. And I had the opportunity, started again, I got back in touch with Redana sir through AMR antimicrobial resistance initiatives. So I'm very happy about it. So let me talk about my experience of moving from ideas to entrepreneurship and where do I stand today and what is that I have learned. And I take 2 case studies and I also project what are the future things which I am trying to do. I hope I cannot speak fully like a business or a successful entrepreneur, but yes, some aspects from a research point of view also, I have seen the entrepreneurship. So I'll try to put things together and take this talk forward. Okay. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer. So ideation to entrepreneurship, it is more of a personal journey. As Ms. Divya has already told, this is the type of adversaries which I faced and how I could not come over them. And now I am trying to build again. I am taking a second chance and trying to build again my entrepreneurship dream. So today morning, Professor Redana sir has sent me this. It is very wonderful that it is not always that we should celebrate failures in anticipation of successes, but in itself, every right is there for failures because of the efforts, the valiant efforts that the failures to reach that failures. So I felt very happy reading this. It was more boosting for me. But eventually I would like to succeed as well. So let us just start off with what is an idea. An idea is something which is providing a solution to a problem. And then what's a problem? Problem is a matter which is unwelcome, harmful, or need to be dealt to overcome something. Or it can be an inquiry for a given conditions to investigate or demonstrate a fact. And these problems, for these problems, we need a solution, which is solving the problem or dealing with the difficult situation. So let us, I'm just trying to give the definitions. So now about the qualities for problem solving. First of all, we have to identify the problem. So for identifying the problem, we should be very critical and also sensitive in our observations actually. So critical observation and sensitive to the problem, understanding the problem, motivation for the problem, and comprehensive survey of the problem. All these things are a must, and they naturally, spontaneously are there with the entrepreneur or with everybody in general. But these entrepreneurs take it more seriously, and if we see their traits, they are very enthusiastic and curious about very small things. We may feel curious about very small things. They are passionate about the problem and how to solve them. It is a thrilling thriller for them to solve the problems. Similarly, understanding the problem, if the problem is difficult, they work hard to raise to the occasion and with the intelligence and create their own domain expertise, going beyond the social average intelligence. So, and the motivation is many people would like to have a self-satisfaction of doing something, and some will look for money, service, power, and achievement as an achievement. Okay. And for the comprehensive survey of the problem, they need, generally they have a lot of perseverance, patience, and persistence. So these are the traits of a successful, or generally in general, these entrepreneurs. Now, idea generation and innovation funnel framework is as this. Initially, we identify a problem and we research to solve the problem. That means we collect information, we generate ideas, then capture the ideas. This is idea generation, and this, from this particular literature we have surveyed and the on-ground situation we have understood, we develop concepts, and these concepts, to make it practical and manifest, translate into a product or a methodology or a service. Even if it is service, we try to refine and identify the feasibility, and we start developing the prototype. So this first part is called the ideation. In a little bit, not very strictly, but this can be considered as ideation. Then next, we innovate it and we create a portfolio of events, and then we test them, and then we deploy. So from this deployment, optimization, and exploiting the business aspect of this innovation can be considered purely dependent on the entrepreneurial spirit. This is exactly what I have experienced in my life. I am showcasing these two with the two case studies I am putting before you in the next 10, 15, 20 minutes or 40 minutes time. Okay. So identify opportunities and creating prospect portfolios is one aspect, that is the ideation aspect. Commercialize by developing, deploying, and exploiting is our entrepreneurial aspect. So what are the stages of startup? Just a overview of how a startup has to move forward. That is the ideation stage. As you can see here, also everything starts with idea or ideation, and next follows into ideation. Then it enters into validation stage, growth stage, scaling stage, and exit stage. Validation, growth, and scaling stage, all these things part of the entrepreneurial process. Actually. So, and then we go into the next step of serial entrepreneurs and taking different, diversifying themselves. The entrepreneur himself diversifies into different based on his interests. So this is the overview of a startup, and this is so let us try to link idea to ideation to entrepreneurship. An idea serves as the fundamental or foundational seed, while ideation nurtures and cultivates this particular idea and into a diverse garden of creative possibilities. So this is the relation between idea and ideation. Idea is the fundamental seed, and ideation nurtures and cultivates this. Then what is the relation between ideation and the entrepreneurship? Ideation is the creative catalyst that sparks innovative concepts with entrepreneurship, and where entrepreneurship transforms into tangible ventures, whether it is profitability, all those things which I have told in the earlier funnel model and bubble model. Ventures with the potential to drive economic growth and societal impact. So together we can have the idea is the initial spark that ignites the process of ideation, that is acting like a catalyst, which in turn catalyzes the journey of entrepreneurship to convert this idea, a useful idea or a problem-solving idea, into tangible ventures, and which eventually drives the economic growth and societal impact. So many innovative concepts will come, and we have to identify, we have to be critical, and we have to identify the right path which we have to take. So this I am trying to put it in a pictorial way right now. Idea is a spark, and ideation is a series of sparks which we get, and from that identify the right utilizable spark and nurture it. That is the which is shown here, and a plethora of these candles or light makes an industry which is going to survive and enjoy the fruits of share the fruits with the society. So this is the simple analogy which I try to explain: idea, ideation, entrepreneurship, and industry. Likewise, in another way, we can say that here is a seed, that is an idea, and this seed, when we think about this seed, we get many more ideas together, which make the, as you can see, the coconut, the seeds of coconuts. And when you nurture each seed, each plantation of each of coconut, that is entrepreneurship. You are nurturing it carefully, and eventually you get a garden, a coconut garden, or coconut farm. That is the industry which is established and which is enjoying its fruits. Similarly, if you talk in the electronics point of view, a simple gate can be an idea, and a group of gates with a particular purpose in a circuit can be considered as an ideation. And all these ideation assembled into reaching a particular function, like a computer itself, that can be considered as entrepreneurship, and a network of computers can be considered as an industry. So this is just to differentiate clearly idea, ideation, entrepreneurship, and industry. So ideas, let us be very I always feel that ideas are divine gifts, and which get onto us. So I try to write here: ideas can be small or big, good or bad, simple or, but they have to be nurtured always. Exactly. Any small idea, any big idea, we should nurture it. Even if we start with a small idea, it may become a gigantic revolution as well. So we should never belittle any idea that comes into our mind, and it may be thrilling, it may be depressing, or it may be a successful event, or it may be failure. But here is where the difference between normal people and the entrepreneurs. These people, these entrepreneurs have a particular determination and a commitment or a passion to identify, to take this as a challenge and see that it reaches a meaningful end. So they take these risks, and that is where the entrepreneurs are separated out as a separate category of superhumans or something like that. So now, what is the ideation process? Ideation process is the initial stage just before entering into the business aspect, or expansion aspect, or multiplying aspect. So first is idea. Idea is we have to get the idea, that is observe and understand, and take a point of view. Take a point of view, then ideate, like you have to incubate that idea continuously, prototype and test and evaluate and iterate again, improvise it further. So this is the process. And now this ideation process, how it happened in my life, and how I did not pursue it further because of various, I will talk about that later. This was this I am trying to talk in terms of the case study which happened, which was during my engineering days. So it is called, it is the multi-nozzle knapsack boom sprayer. So what is the observation and understand is that I was doing my engineering, and right in front of my hostel, we used to have very large, beautiful rice fields, and I used to see all the farmers putting this pesticides with this sprayer. So all the time I was concerned. It caught my attention that pesticide aerosols were getting back onto his face when they were doing like this. So this is a problem. Now this is a problem. So the idea is to solve this problem. So what is that we should do, even if it is small? I don't really expect or anticipate anything from this. This is a problem in front of me, that these farmers should not get this poisonous pesticide back onto their face. So of course, people put handkerchiefs or clothing around them, but is there a technical way, or is there a mechanical way we can avoid this? So they are wearing a knapsack sprayer, and they are putting a boom in their hand, and then trying to do this. So I thought that why can't we change this? So that is where this is observation. That's why I told one should be very sensitive, and as I listed the character traits earlier. So this thought I tried to provide a solution, and these are the different knapsack sprayers, and all are having booms. So the innovation started when what are the parameters which are involved? So there is a nozzle, different types of nozzles are there, which decide the spread and vertical height of the spray. Based on that, we can design which type of nozzle to be used. Along with that, it was interesting that why the question I asked was why there should be only single nozzle? Why can't we have a multiple nozzle? So this started the idea here, and we put 3, 2, 3, 4, and 5 different nozzle sizes for the same knapsack liters. Something like that. And then we moved forward. So parameters we have identified. We discovered identified the parameters, and we started to evaluate that. And we took many nozzles. We identified the spread and the total coverage, and then based on that, for the knapsack sprayer, we were able to identify that approximately 4 nozzles to 5 nozzles were taken were optimally relevant, and we felt that there are advantages of it. And this boom sprayer, multi-nozzle boom, will be at the back side, and he has to walk through the field, whereas the aerosols will be down, will be falling near his legs, at the level of legs on the canopy actually. So that was the idea, and that had interestingly, so we developed it, we tested it, evaluated it, and we presented it in a Kisan Mela also. Suddenly, when around 30 to 40 farmers came and asked, sir, how much is this? And we want to buy it immediately. So I was very happy. I felt very happy. So that day I decided that whatever I do, eventually it has to reach the society, not just sit in the cabin or do something which takes many years. So that aspect of gives me a lot of motivation to work in practical ideas actually. So that is one thing which I wanted to share here. So based on this, now after this, I completed my project, BTech project, and I got the best project also. But after that, I stopped. This is where most of the entrepreneurial success stories are lost because we stop it halfway. So this is where I did not know about entrepreneurship or businesses and market and all those things at the time. My interest was doing this academic, this particular project to see that whether it works or not, and the multinational boom sprayer works or not. So if we can see now, there are so many varieties. And had I, why? So I asked this question for because this is my topic here. Where did I go wrong? So the answer is simple, that I did not dream big and beyond. So that is lack of awareness about businesses, market needs, or entrepreneurship. So pursued the idea only till ideation stage. As you can see, up to testing we have done, but beyond that, can I sell this? When the farmers asked, I felt happy, but I did not pursue this. That is where I think I made a big mistake. I should have pursued. Of course, one thing I should tell here that at that particular time, entrepreneurship ecosystem was minimal. Academic ecosystem was very dominant. So maybe I was in that particular training in that mindset. Okay. So the idea was pursued as an academic project, and as I told you, this is. So if I had continued, can you imagine all these huge booms and many more new ideas and market capture could have, and we could have expanded into much more innovation in the same. As of now, you can see that we have drones which are trying to do that spray. Now there is no human intervention or anything needed for this, and you can imagine that there is a huge scope at almost like 5.6 CAGR. There is opportunity for global trends are there, and 2.7579 billion is going to the market size eventually. So this is where maybe I lost by not pursuing the idea further. And of course, at this point, it was at that age point I was ignorant about that. So this is the ideation process, which a case study of the ideation process. So here every time, as I told you earlier also, stage 1 is ideation, and stage 2 is entrepreneurship. So before starting this particular thing, I was always confused where is the difference between ideation versus entrepreneurship. So originality was there, relevance was there, market alignment was there, need was there, perspectives were there, many possibilities were there, scalability was there. All these things, all the ideation and vetting was done, and it captured the attention of the end user also. So ideation wise, I was successful, but I did not move into the entrepreneurship. So this I will talk, which when we talk about entrepreneurship, it is about the sustainability, expansion, diversity, diversifying the portfolio, and capturing the market. So it should be more aggressive, and it is more demanding, and this is more research oriented. This is truly getting into the industry mode is entrepreneurship. This is what as I understood over the period of time. Now I will talk about the entrepreneurship process here. The case study is again, this is also my own experience. Helix Genomics Private Limited. I was about to complete my PhD from IIC Bangalore from molecular unit. So during that point, my focus was very much into solving the problems then. Because we talk about atoms and we talk about the analysis of various structures, protein structures, or genome sequences. My MSc was on genome sequences and all this. So I identified that there is a problem here, and I continued to work for 7 years, almost like 7 years, on programming and developing some framework which will be useful for the entire scientific community which is working on the bioinformatics aspects or analysis aspects. So that, in addition to that, my one of my colleagues at that time, he came forward and told, excited that he would like to start a company, and I should be part of it. So I entered that as a co-founder of the company, and that is a bioinformatics products, services, and solutions company. October, we incorporated it. So the niche area is computational biology, and I learned, I was good at almost like 2 lakh lines of C++ advanced, means templates, using templates. I was write codes, and I developed a BioAsia, a language API, and a application, object-oriented application framework I developed, and that became our niche area of HMPL. Now, it is to show, right now, whatever I'm going to tell for the next few slides, it is the stage at which when I started this. So there will be a problem there, and can I address the problem? Yes. So again, the same aspect where I saw the farmers having the particular problem of inhaling the pesticide. Here also, we did not have. We had market pain, that is science. A lot of data is there, but there are tools which are doing very monotonous jobs. There is no access to the final end user who has the intuition of how to understand, how to analyze, and what has to be analyzed. So that is where the market pain was there. And the next market pain is the technology. Even the softwares were also single button, and single click softwares, and the complete software or the tool was completely black box. What is going to happen inside, or what is happening? Can I change that? From a scientist point of view, I want to change the parameters. Do I have the access at that time? No, I did not have. So that was very restrictive. So as I mentioned in this particular slide, not systems biology ready. One algorithm, one tool. Tools not scalable, extensible. Tools are scattered. No flowchart or process automation. Enormous unproductive time searching, customizing, and all those things. No integration. Various data sets cannot be. The data redundancy was there. No standardization. So these are the market pains of from technology point of view and science point of view. So what is the other problems are also listed here, as I have, no flexibility, no extensibility, and there is a lot of biological data. Biology is very complex, and biological data plays very important role. The better the data, the better the output or the prediction or the final solution. So no softwares were there which were able to access the intricate details like locus and the features of various gene sequences. That was was not there accessible to the end user at that time. If we had that, we would have developed much better predictive tools. So at that time, this was my motivation, that we should provide a system in such a way that the biologist becomes a programmer, but he doesn't feel that he's a programmer. He feels that he's speaking to the computer in terms of his language, in terms of his biological language. So that's why I call it as BioAsia. And see, online searching and mining tools, they have redundancy. They are not very accurate. I demonstrated also earlier while I was doing that. Online tools are restricted to one task at a time only. You cannot automate it. And another way, online tools is a lot of time is spent on reliability studies and authenticity and searching itself. So these were the things which I consolidated as problems, and from the science point of view or the pain point of view. The other thing, when I looked at all the softwares which were available, I could classify them into first generation, like independent tools, second generation embedded or interface or integration tools, third is libraries and APIs. So these were the things which were available at that particular point of time. So what my idea of BioAsia was 2 steps ahead of that. We were developing a programming environment, as well as we developed the programming application, object-oriented biological applications framework, so which can be used for many other portfolio of products and services. So that concept, we came up with this custom the data, and all the data, different types of valid data will be provided with one interface, that is biological language interface. So that's what the executive aspect summary of the whole uniqueness of our product. The unique features are listed first: biological programming, high throughput biological data analysis. And to tell the fact is that every aspect which I have listed, I have validated that. This is very important. I took the data, I did that with the normal process, and I proved that at least within which takes 2 to 3 days by searching and all the unproductive time, I was able to show them that this can be done in, say, 2 hours or 3 hours. So such a drastic difference was demonstrated and validated as well. So it was going good, and this is the interface we created, and it has many biological abstract data types. I was able to write a textbook, usage manual also on this, and this is the HGPL products were the biological operating system, which is again one of the portfolios, one of the products from this BioAsia concept. So as told, scalability is needed, as well as expansion is needed when a concept is developed. So I felt I will show in the next some slides that how BioAsia concept, the application framework concept, has has opportunity for many flavors, many variants of biological software. And I also developed engineering model, engineering principles based model of protein structures, which gave much more functional importance, which is currently is this is in 1998 onwards. I started working on these architectural components, but if we see today, people are talking about this type of architectures components in protein structures. So at that time, I think I was too ahead of time, and maybe that is one of the reasons of failures. Right? So this is a biological operating system at that particular time. It provides. We are excited about that. That it gives opportunity to express your biological intuition. So we did a lot of market study, and because I'm showing all this, we followed the complete entrepreneurial. I validated it. The ideation stage was over. Then we went into the market aspect, and we identified what are the markets available and how much is the CAGR. As you can see, 23% CAGR. Huge market, and future is very bright. So we got this data, and with the initial development aspect, we went to investors. At that point, again, I have to express my deep sense of gratitude to Redana sir, who was my mentor, he was our mentor at that point, and we were introduced to angel investors, and we did a good job at that point of time. And we tried to protect the novelty by filing patents. I was given an opportunity to go to US, Philadelphia, and try to talk to because they were not able to understand the novelty. We filed, and we got some good inputs, I mean, good reviews about the patentable ideas. However, it so happened that I had to, the other founding member had to leave halfway, but I did not want to lose this particular challenge, so I continued for another 3 years. By the time again, I could not further, because basically my temperament was science and scientist or a researcher type, where the mindset of an entrepreneur is to be more aggressive. That's what I realized at that time. I'll show you the issues. So then the value proposition also we did. I told you that everything was validated properly. Every competitor was evaluated, and the competition matrix was done. And we also time of completion based on this, our programming environment was taking the least time to, as the complexity increases, our the time to solve the problem using our software was least. So what I am trying to say here is that we have to be very critical, and at every point we have to prove that our solution is best than the existing competitors. So we have done that. So I feel, and it is also supporting that whatever domain market category we were in, that category has been projected as the best or the most fastest growing category, as you can see here. So this was a very good positive side. So taking all these things, we got investors, and we also use this for softwares, and interestingly, we could license this software to 4 universities and engineering colleges at that time. We were providing services. Then we had international collaborations. Here, Professor Ajay Kokri is there. He was expecting around 3 to 5 months of work, and we completed that in 1 week. And he appreciated us. He came all the way from Ireland at that time, and he came to Hyderabad at that time. So we had collaborators, and our mentors were there with us, and even investors were with us. But the patenting aspect was a big costly affair. It became all the money which was investors were giving went to patent protection, but later it was discontinued, and I had to come out of. We have to close this. So we had the target audience also very clearly, like Microsoft operating system, Windows operating system. This software even today has that potential that it can be schools, colleges, industries, corporates, consultants. It can be on every PC possible. So I was collaborating with computer science, CSC faculty, computer science faculty at University of Hyderabad. I demonstrated all these things, which will take a lot of time with others, but with this one simple script, we'll complete the activities. So the real process was all this experience, all this hard work of doing things again and again, iterating over and trying to refine, trying to improvise, all these things, we had to put it in, again, we have to put it, articulate them, and we used to work very hard on making our executive summary, our business proposal, and the brochures, as well as the flyers and all those things very carefully. So this was a very difficult but very enriching learning curve, I will say. This learning curve. Okay, so we by the time we reached 2006 or 6, we were able to generate some 65 lakhs by the time, and we took an investment of 2 lakhs. We wanted to project what is the requirement for us, and we were promising a very good conservative estimate of $10 million US dollars as a revenue generation, and this was the So there is a lot of what I can say why I am showing this picture is uh, you have to impress the investors with creativeness actually. So what are the things which you will do? How much is Helix going to grow? How much you want? So it is very clear, and they are very calculated. They know what exactly they have to invest beforehand itself. So for that, so this is what I prepared at that time. I was more all alone by that time because the earlier who started off left the organization. And as you can see, as I told you that there are many boss product flavors that I was planning to. Even today, I am working on this particular project. Uh, see, biological integrated development environment, programming environment, online laboratory, boss and client server. Now I am developing client server version and software development that is already there. There. And I had a very exciting aspect that all the sequencing machines, mass data, all this can be automated with this particular BioAsia interface, and we can have student edition. So this is all we projected to the investors, and it so happened that sometimes I will talk about that point. Sometimes bookish knowledge costs us a lot. It costed us a lot in this process of going towards the next step actually. So again, I felt that from this, it was very confident that we are going in the right way, but still I could not succeed in making this a brand or a number one bioinformatics company in the world. So where did I go wrong? Let us introspect on that. So if I introspect, I have been introspecting because it is my brain change. So I could not leave it, or I don't want to leave it. And so the mindset. So here is where maybe my inputs will be very useful in the sense that there is a mindset for academia and where there is a mindset for industry. So industry person should be aggressive enough and should go getter. Actually, we should say we should use this word go getter, and this academia people are little they are more particular about keeping things correct, right, and industry takes the risk. Researcher, same thing. Researcher is he wants to completely study the whole thing, but the entrepreneur he wants to first finalize this particular what is available in his hand and generate something out of it, make use of it, and then he will think about research. So that's the reason I think in all industry or companies, only 2 to 5% is the real research component. The remaining is all industry component, fast product making. So biology, coming to biology, it was more a science then than now, but science is again it is very difficult to address all the science problems before it reaches a particular stage of the critical mass. Something like a critical mass we say in other jargon. Like that, biology at that time was not yet there, I think so. So going by the book, as I told you, from Mumbai to father and son, they came to us and they told, we want to invest in you. And they were the pioneers or the first founding investors in the Pantaloon at that time. They got from 1 crore investment, they got 27 crores, and they wanted to invest in young companies. So they called us to Mumbai, they talked to us. But we missed one thing actually. I am not from MBA. So my friend, the last talks came to a particular point. You give us 49% stake and we will give 50 lakhs or something. We will invest 50 lakhs, something like that. We had a deal. But this education by book was has costed us. By book, we say never give more percentage to the investor or whatever. There is something like that. So this bookish knowledge was used to say no. We will not give 49%. We will give you 39%. So this negotiation aspects, all these things, we should not believe in the. I think so. Book can give some aspect of it, but the real decision is they are bringing hard cash, hard-earned money, and we have the technology. Even if it is little bit this side or that side, let us go and first establish that these technologies worth so many $1 million or improve the valuation of the company. So instead of thinking that way, this MBA bookish knowledge has costed us and our investors backed out. then and there. So another aspect is a scientist probably is more of a loner, or he doesn't speak much, or he restricts his cabin or something like this. So team building should be done by a team. It's a team sum. So I think that this is one of the aspects which was maybe contributed to going to the next level. Team building did not work out. Attrition was there, and the investor founding members, their relationship was a little bit happening. It was not that great. Okay. So I went to San Diego. There also I entered into Connect and connected, talked about them, but they were not interested in listening to all this. They just wanted things to be. I will invest this much in next 3 years. What is this? So then I realized that there are some people called technopreneurs or technology investors who can take this time as a also as a investment strategy in their investment protocol. So and one more thing is from the software point, probably this one was steep learning curve was there, and maybe we were a little bit ahead of time at that particular point. So these are some of the aspects which I see that I might have failed. The reason for my failure as calling myself a successful entrepreneur. Now, so basically, I was I thought I'm not suitable for this entrepreneurship. So I concentrated on. I came back to academia and I concentrated on the science aspect, and I developed methodologies. And but deep inside, I again want to prove myself that I want to have some success story with myself. So I developed a new methodology for peptide vaccine, and I started a company, Amid Research Solutions, which is basically peptide vaccine design, antibody design. So this is one which is currently with me. The other interesting thing is I have 2 MSME projects, and when MSME provides, that means I felt happy because they are industry oriented. So using some technology, I started another where we are trying to develop a personalized and precision footwear, smart footwearables for various diseases. So we will patent that, and we are in the process. Actually, this is theory. I can show you the MSME grant. The other one is technology development for non-invasive or animal sacrifice is avoided by developing cheaper and faster single domain antibodies. This is another idea which was funded by MSME. So this is another probable Amid company will take care of that. The last one is more of a more of nano machining, and this is also a patentable technique. So these are the 4 ideas which are currently I'm pursuing, and some learning has happened. So what I can say is that when I was coming out of this entrepreneurial process and joining academia, my friend told me, Dr. Aditya Kapil, a scientist should always be forward with novel ideas and should never stop with one idea or just get depressed because of failures. So I always remember that
I think he got stuck, right?
Yes, sir.
first you to I just asked wish me good luck so that I can also. Hello.
Sir, I think there is a disturbance in your voice.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, it's better, sir.
So this is my last slide actually.
Excellent.
So these are the experiences, and this is a domain which, I should again thank and express gratitude to Ridana sir, because he told, I asked him, sir, I am not a successful entrepreneur. What should I tell? He told, you tell your journey, that itself is a motivation. So.
Sir, we have Noor Muhammad Garu in the audience, sir, who can share some light in it. He's a successful entrepreneur and
Yes,
is a very good mentor.
Thank you for the time.
Noor Garu? I think he's not there. But anyway, sir, I think your courage is amazing. So you didn't stop with one failure. So you're still pushing it hard.
Yes.
We have one budding entrepreneur also in the two budding entrepreneurs that I know of in the audience. Yeah. Pawan, Pradeep and Kiran. Guys, please turn on your cameras.
I think Pradeep is he's traveling maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Kiran.
Hi. How are you? No?
Fine.
Yeah.
You want to ask anything to Prasad, sir? Kiran?
Actually, I have one question, like how far it is going to be working out bioinformatics with One Health program, personalized medicines. So did sir is concentrate on in that way of research also?
Okay, so the good news I always feel is that after this COVID, biotechnology, medical biotechnology, especially molecular medicine, along with the computational aspects of biology, they will be reigning the next many years. So it is about which topic you want to take. Now you are telling AMR. Yes, it will be contributed. It will contribute. AMR bioinformatics will contribute immensely to AMR. So, but what aspect is what is going to deciding that? It should be the deciding factor for you. Did you understand your question first of all?
Yes, sir. Actually, I'm looking for like how far it is going to be help for the like innovative ideas towards personalized medicine as well One Health program coordination, sir.
How do we means? See, there are various ways of understanding this particular. If you talk about computational health, One Health computational health will be completely different from the computational software or computational aspects at the molecular level which I have created.
Okay.
So there is something called lab management systems. That's also is considered bioinformatics, but it doesn't have anything to do with bioinformatics in reality. Okay, so in AMR or in One Health situation, I was talking to Professor Samir K. Brahmachari on this. So he was interested in developing a software which can collate all the data across the states, okay, and use that information to develop a very good antimicrobial resistance solutions.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so that software is different, where it is patient management system. Let us say in normal, it is patient management or patient data management. So that is totally different from the type of software I developed, which is more mathematical algorithm implementation and atomistic coordinates manipulation or basic building blocks and their manipulation. So I can discuss with you on this if I did not answer you correctly.
No, sir. It's like it depends on how we are approaching the research to health program.
Yes. So
when it will reach for the treatment to the patients, till that much it will be like depends how we are approaching the patients.
Yes, so you yourself have told the answer. So it is more of patient management data, okay, molecular data, and then the lab data. All these things are there. So these are different categories actually.
Okay, so now actually what happened nowadays, everyone like maximum researchers are thinking about personalized medicine to treat the cancer patients, and another thing is One Health program. So in these two, like researchers are concentrating on emerging areas.
Yes, means basically an integrated approach has to be used to really utilize the One Health program and make it a meaningful initiative actually,
Okay, sir.
because integrative approach is needed, as I
Okay, sir.
understand.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Actually, we had a one more like a research organization that is located in Bangalore, ICAR Nivedi. So there, one of my guide itself. So they have like collaboration with the CDC. So they are initiated with a certain type of One Health programs. So
Yes,
particularly anti-bacterial resistant genes studies. So if anything required help, shall I approach you, sir?
yes, no problem. I understood actually, and I feel that my answer is also relevant here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you
Thank you
so
very
much.
much. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir.
Pradeep?
Yeah, hi. Jagdish, thank you for this wonderful, event. I mean, Professor Burra has really, I think dived into and out of things and tried to fill up the huge gap. Thank you, Professor Burra. But I don't know if my voice is breaking because I'm traveling. I recently moved to India like just a couple of days ago. Professor Burra, I would like to definitely get in touch with you, and especially because I also see the gap that you spoke about when we talk in terms of the gap existing between the bench work and the clinical research and the bioinformatics platform.
Yes.
So
Yes,
I basically, yes. So I basically come from a bioinformatics background and now delving for the past 8 years into cryo-electron microscopy. And what I uncovered is that protein data bank and electron microscopy data bank, they are filling up with spurious structures, meaning even the protein folding, which is a huge problem, is being misdirected into. That means wrong structures are there. That is one aspect. And yeah, and then if we consider this, we can see how much of, we are, I think, light years away from personalized medicines in this regard. So would you be willing to collaborate in these terms and be also kind of take a mentorship role? And I mean, how do you tell me this and tell me in the regard of, intellectual properties, how safe it is in India and things like that? Yeah. Thank you.
When it comes to intellectual property, I cannot comment, because in India I was told that with 1,000 rupees you can get any aspect. So frankly speaking, so
Yeah.
let us speak truth. I don't want to create a false hope, but probably it will improve to a better stage in future, because we are becoming the attention of the on the globe. Now everything is becoming India centric by basically we are proving something that we can do something. So our ethics also, ethical values also will improve eventually. So in that scenario, yes, we should try to overcome the current limitations, or let them down. Don't focus so much on that. That's what I can say. And regarding the mentorship, I'll be very glad to assist in any possible way related to this electron microscopy and crystal. The interesting fact which I want to share here is regarding this false or fake structures, crystallographic structures. I have seen very closely people creating spots, okay, based on the XYZ they want, okay. not the spot giving the XYZ.
Yes.
They created the XYZ based on they created the HKL based on the XYZ they want. Okay, such scientific
Exactly.
reach is
Last
there.
decade.
Yeah. Okay. So, but myself, when I was in San Diego, my very close colleague, Professor Bob Steck, he and myself, we came up with an idea of running through the XYZ coordinates to identify whether it is a fake structure or not. So I did not publish further because I came back to India at that time. So suddenly I recollected what we did. Yeah, there is a way. There is a way. The value will change from negative to positive or something like that, where
Yes.
it can show that this is a fake structure and this is
A density modification, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So thanks a lot, Professor Burra. I'll get in touch with you. Yeah. Thank you, Jagdish and Deepa, for this opportunity.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm also happy to see Abhinav from Dynamatics, right? Abhinav, you were in February in Hyderabad, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity and time. Very wonderful session you are organizing here. I'm thankful to all team and especially Burra sir. Sir, I have. Yeah, sir, I have one question. Like you patented many of technology and how much time it will take, and the fees for patent is different for India only or internationally you are patented your technology?
Very good question, sir. This patent thing is what which might have failed my entrepreneurial path. Actually, the reason is that at that point of time, $250 per hour patent attorneys used to take. It is huge, and that fellow he just completed biology and took a 6 months course in patent thing. I had to go all the way to US to explain my technology to him, and we tried to file the patents. We filed the patents. Even in that, he was not very clear. So, patent technology, it is better you write by yourself. I can write better. I can use better terminology, and I can write it more generic sense than most of the patent attorneys which I have seen till now. And these patent attorneys don't go to the patent attorneys who have converted from lawyers to patent attorneys. You identify the original patent attorneys who are subject to patent attorneys. They will be doing much more justice than the people. First thing, a lawyer converted patent attorney will say, will it cost how much? So based on that, he starts. But how much is the novelty, he doesn't care. So please be aware of this aspect in that case. Okay. Next, I tried to do, and I'm going to do more patents in the future because I'm evaluating a lot of things. But whatever the original work which I do, I could not do because I did not have the money. And most of the budget allotted was given to the patent attorneys, but it did not fructify because we had to support for 3 to 5 years. Huge money it is. So we could not do that at that time, at that point of time.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Dr. Jyoti has been waiting for a long time.
Oh, Jyoti, please go ahead. It's not audible, Jyoti. No.
I think it would be better if you remove the earphones and talk.
Remove the earphones from the computer. Yeah. Yeah. Try again.
No, you need to unplug the earphones
from the computer.
I mean, I think it is from mobile. Maybe unplug it. Sure, or you can use the chat box, or else we'll try to. Sir will try to. Yeah.
So happy to see Murliji. Murliji, where are you from and what do you do? You're on mute.
Mute.
Can you please unmute? Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. Oh, I'm so happy to see Dr. Prasad being so honest. Yeah, I too had some experience. I'm an academician based in Kerala. Basically, many of the agenda ideas that he talked about, issues that Pradeep raised, all this, I have also had some personal experience. I was particularly interested in one slide that he showed, wherein there was this differentiation between married, divorced, and the
Yeah.
Can he throw some highlight on that?
Okay,
I
so
was very interested in that. Dr. Prasad, can you, just speak a couple of words on that, because there was hardly anything said on that.
okay, so
Can Prasad hear me?
yes, yes, of course. I'm able to hear. This is the one you are talking, right?
No. There was, yeah, this one. Yes.
Yeah, this is
This
the
one.
only slide that has about gender.
Okay.
Okay, so this is
What is this about?
Yeah, actually, in Marma Kriya, in Ayurveda, there is something called Marma Kriya. And
Okay.
according to that Marma Kriya, our plant, that is the foot, has all the tissues, all the organs represented underneath its foot, under the foot. And by giving different pressures, we can bring back the good health. We can heal the problems. So that is the idea, and I am basing myself on the Ayurvedic texts. Okay, and so when I was going through all these different types of shoes, I came across this interesting picture. Okay, so it seems that different types of at different age groups, the types of slippers or the chappals people, sandals use are different. So here it is shown that if the girl is single, she wears high heels. Okay, when she is married, the heel comes down. When she has one kid, the heel is completely gone. Okay, so then she becomes. And when it is 2 kids and 3 kids, she doesn't care about what she is wearing. Okay, once she is divorced, she gets back to the single type of energy. That's what it's like. For fun, I have put it there.
Oh, all right. Sorry, I could not get that. Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. As far as the bioinformatics platform, trying to get all aspects of the idiosyncrasy, one of your probable entrepreneur asked about this personalized medicine and the structural biology aspect, all that coming together. My research is giving a new perspective. I'm very interested. And when I presented my first workshop on my idea called Mudborn Concept, IIT Bombay, somebody in the audience was an electrical engineer who had this multiple clinics he had data from, wherein the leg exposure, earthing to the ground, all that created major pathophysiological benefits. And these kind of things are not coming under the purview of modern day sort of biochemical sciences. So here is where the modern approach of your approach, where you can deal with all diverse aspects of the data, you can deal with one platform. That's what I thought I could get from your talk. How to comprehensively manage the idiosyncratic, that is personalized medicine agenda. How to get that? For example, a person, an old person might not like something like a lemon serving common cold issues or redox diseases, whereas a younger person might like lemon as a cure for the same kind of problem. So how does this kind of things, what are the parameters that affect the clinical aspect, all that I hope we will be in a position to address. I hope to interact with you further in greater detail. It cannot be done on a platform like this at such short notice. But wonderful to see your honesty, transparency, insightful comments, particularly something like don't go from lawyer to biospecialist, go from biospecialist to lawyers. These are very insightful comments. Congratulations on your wonderful straight talk. Nice.
Thank you. Thank
Hello.
you very much.
Yeah.
So there is one question from Jyoti sir in the chat. So she tried to purify a compound. So first she did in silico analysis. What is the compound, Jyoti? A plant compound which is bioflavonoid in nature. It shows good binding pattern in silico, but when I started doing bench work to prove its anti-diabetic activity and epidrug, I got completely unexpected results. So welcome to reality, Jyoti.
Yeah, exactly. That is the answer I will give.
Right.
No. So can you rephrase the question? What is that you want to hear? Means, are you looking from any alternative methodology you want to ask, or see, we are also facing many problems like this. And if you go to an organic chemist, he would say, even if you do 100 years bioinformatics and come up with 3 molecules best, they will not work because I have to synthesize and it has to be trial and error. So this is the way it is compulsory. Okay, this is the best answer is already Jagdish Garu has given, that that is a reality, and welcome to reality. So, but we can discuss and we can improvise, improve the various parameters which are in the virtual world, and that's where we will stop, and we will use this information to send a project grant asking, sir, we have done up to this, give us a chance to verify. So that is where my stage is also. But truly, it is a universal problem, means computational issue.
Sir, I also have one question, sir. I think not related to anything technical. I want to ask about the role of mental health in building a company. So, especially after COVID, somehow I feel that after COVID, depression is kicking in due to the virus. So how do you think, like, especially the mental health aspect in building a company?
Oh my God. Okay. I don't know how to answer this question. The reason being, if you observe over a period of last 100 years, okay, people are naturally becoming mentally weak. Okay, so is it because of COVID truly, or is it a natural entropy driven mental? I have a doubt there. So it's a general simple energy process. That means at one point of time there will be 10 individuals in the whole world. They have all of the energy, and their reproductive progeny. Now we have so many billions of, so the same energy has been distributed. So mind also, mentally also, we will be weaker as we go towards more and more age, as we age. Not only age individually, societal age, or from a much more metaphysical age also. Okay, so mental health and entrepreneurship, I want to tell about a different aspect. The person who is an entrepreneur should be fast in decision making. And to be fast in decision making, he should be aggressive. To be aggressive, he should be processing much faster. To process much faster, he should have all the focus. That means he generally will be very short term. This is very much visible. I mean, whether it is Steve Jobs or whether it is Microsoft Gates or any person, we generally take, they are very, very, very extrovertic and very aggressive in nature, at least during their young age, because then only they become very successful because of the motivation from inside they get. Okay, so we should. At one point, the society was able to handle such aggressive people and give them the space, okay, to work on their ideas. And today we know they have reached such great heights. But as we age in this earth, as we age, this ability to support such aggressive people is also decreasing.
Mm.
So you have to get the answer in between this particular area. I mean, your answer to how mental health and develop, becoming a successful entrepreneur or a good company, creating a good company depends on that. Actually.
Excellent, sir. This aggressive aspect is quite interesting. I also studied a couple of people who are very hard to even approach them, or
yes,
because they're successful.
Yeah, they are self-obsessive because their obsession is to reach the target, and they don't want anybody to disturb them. So we have to be considerate for them and give them that space. That is very important. And we used to have that particular character around 25 to 30 years back. Now we are losing that ability because of, I don't want to get too much into the detail. Joint family was giving this opportunity, this particular character to everybody in that particular family. So this nurturing was much better at that particular time. Now nuclear families, everybody fights, everybody divorces. So
amazing.
Yeah, maybe I did not answer you correctly, but it's
no, you answered it, sir.
No, you did. Yeah.
Kiran, you said you have one more question, right, Kiran?
Yes, Anna. Actually, how far nowadays people were thinking about artificial intelligence. So how it is going to be affected by bioinformatics, like a novel activity, or it is going to be again machine learning things? So
artificial intelligence is going to stay. It will become much more stronger, and a lot of politics will come up around that particular thing, and a lot of market segmentation will happen within this services provided by this AI-based products. Okay, all these complications will happen, but the people will be forced to either go above the normal human intelligence, where they have to compete with the robotic intelligence, or they will completely avoid this type of competition itself, and they will get back to roots. That is, go back to village, do hardcore, what is that type of work where there is no stress about competition. You earn from your land and go back to that. So it is going to be very interesting to see how AI is going to influence the livelihood and lifestyle of many people across, especially middle class people.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Actually, we are thinking, even I am also like, we used to concentrate and research also. Like when we are looking for the particular project or particular related to bioinformatics or any type of compound screening. So nowadays, hearing about AI tools. So when it will come for the AI tools, so automatically it is going to generate all data, and it is going further how it is going to be working reality, sir. Do you have any experience of AI related projects?
Okay, I think Dr. Jyoti asked one question. For that question, the solution could be AI. Artificial, the decision systems which are provided by AI are absolutely amazing. This much I can tell. So, but identifying what aspects should be artificially intelligent, that push to create that intelligence for that particular topic of drug aspect has to be explored. People are exploring it for past 10 years, but now it will be at a different level totally.
Okay, sir.
So definitely, artificial intelligence is going to revolutionize the way we take decisions. It will start with the drug designing, and it will encompass and occupy all the predictions which we have been doing till now.
Okay, sir.
Definitely, it is going to.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
I think there's one interesting story that I was reading, Prasad sir. So Balaglitazone from Dr. Reddy's, so which was a diabetic anti-diabetic analog that if you take even HbA1c levels goes down. So his vision making India as focusing on innovative drug. So they invented through Dr. Reddy's Foundation, and then afterwards for phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 clinical trials, he went abroad like Novo Nordisk and Rio Biosciences and everything. They even went to phase 3 clinical trials. Afterwards, it got shut down. So I think that story tells us quite a lot about drug discovery. I mean, like how much it involves so many years of research, how much money, how much politics, and why the drug got shut down, because there was a report in EU that same kind of drug from GSK gave side effects. So then he went to US. So I think the prediction of artificial intelligence with the drugs and side effects, I think that's going to play a huge role in terms of money, in terms of saving many people from clinical trials and everything, and saving crores and crores of money. So I think very, very important question.
Yeah, there are downside also, and we may not be knowing what exactly has happened. And media is something which we should not fully rely on, especially when it is research.
Murligar, do you want to give a background who you are and what you do?
Yeah, I am a scientist, a biochemist, and my idea is basically going to change the whole gamut of biochemistry foundation in a few decades. What I say is the foundation of modern cell biology, biochemistry is very poor. Multiple Nobel Prizes have been given to very wrong ideas. So for example, the clinical trial, the drug metabolism aspect that you were discussing now, the phase 3, how a particular lead candidate comes to an effect. In 2006, I had clearly shown that the xenobiotics, the drug molecules cannot bind the active sites of various CYPs. I had clearly shown it's by an alternate mechanism. That is what I have proposed. It's called Moore-Burn concept. It explains the most fundamental processes known to man that sustains life on planet Earth. That is respiration, photosynthesis, thermogenesis, vision, drug metabolism, xenobiotic metabolism, electrophysiology, you name it. So multiple Nobel Prizes have been given to very, very wrong ideas like ion pumping, chemiosmosis, rotary ATP synthesis, all these ideas. So they are the foundations of the Western science that pursues cell biochemistry now and medicine now. So when you pursue something with the wrong foundations, you don't know what actually oxygen does in your body, in your cell, you will get wrong ideas. So the way the Western medicine system, all that is currently based is after the Second World War, the Anglo-Americans got the major sway in global scheme of things. So whatever they said, the rest of the world had to buy hook, line, and sinker. And now the situation is so bad that you say something so sensible, but it goes against the core of their established protocols and thought process. You cannot get it through. I'm having this difficulty. So I have published my work. I'm trying to change the mindset of the global biochemistry, biophysics community. So multiple Nobel Prizes recognized ideas that you see in textbooks, they stand to be completely washed away by a single idea called Moore-Burn concept that I'm trying to bring in. That's my introduction.
Fantastic. Oh, man. All the best. I think you should have a lot of guts to do such things, right?
Yeah, that's
should,
what I said.
yes.
What Prasad Garu talked about. There was an ambience earlier where a radical person could be tolerated by the system. Now it has become so bad that you try to say something different in a scientific community meeting or through a paper. They pretend they're cognitively dissonant. They all nurture only people who go by the consensus. But by definition, a new scientific thought is brought by the radical, the Dionysian. You have to entertain that. Even our Puranas say that Asuras are needed for Amrita Manthana. So, some people who don't conform to the natural scheme of things, you have to give them a chance. So what I say is quantitatively very well justified. You give me 5 minutes, I can say why one particular Nobel is wrong. It's something even an undergraduate can understand. The idea of drug metabolism, it's a commonsensical thing. How does, say, CYP3A4 know which drug to bind where? It cannot go into the active site. The idea that everything has to conform to the earlier described Michaelis-Menten theory or lock and key, these are all rudimentary ideas. It has to be grown out. Of course, there are confirmation to that, but then there are enzymes that are working beyond that. So these are the kind of ideas that I have unleashed. That's what called Murban concept. It explains why oxygen is needed at a core level, at the thermodynamic, at the kinetic, at the mechanistic level. So the problem is biologists per se, they have scant regard for chemical, physical foundations. They go just by the observation and directly try to correlate it with some kind of explanation. And that's where we are, sadly. I believe that physics is a core science and everything in biology should be substantiated by fundamental explanations based in thermodynamics, kinetics, and mechanics. So if it doesn't, like multiple Nobel Prizes, how does a protein pump iron? It doesn't make sense. How does proton, that is pico, some 0.00002 angstrom, how do these people who make structural resolution of 2 angstrom, how can they say proton pumps go like that? It doesn't make any sense. You try to tell them, they have got massive following. They have got the fund. So yeah, that's the tragedy. So don't get me going on this. I'll keep speaking for a long time. It's Dr. Prasad's time to speak. I would rather take a back seat now. Thank you for asking me though. Thank you for this opportunity to talk about myself. Thank you. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
I get going. I'm neurotic that way.
No. I think it's important to
so
speak
much.
out these things, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, we as scientific community should nurture your thoughts.
Yes. Prasad sir, we had one Professor Redana's friend who recently passed away with a heart attack.
Sir, he also knows. Dr. Murali also knows very closely.
Okay.
Oh, Vatlakonda sir passed away.
Yes, I heard.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know that he passed away.
Lakshmi Narayana, no, sir? Professor Lakshmi Narayana. Lakshmikanta, Lakshmi Narayana.
Lakshmikant, sorry.
Lakshmipati.
Lakshmipati, sir.
Lakshmipati Vatlakonda, yeah.
Yeah.
My, that's bad news. Oh.
Yeah, he
was very dynamic, very dynamic.
Yeah, he was exactly the same.
Very dynamic.
Exactly. So they had a discussion also.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, what happens is when there is a trendsetter, somebody who gets recognition, and if they say something, that becomes the unbreakable code or something. Science does not go by the authority, logic of authority. Science goes by the authority of logic. And it's high time that people started being passionate. I like Dr. Prasad for that matter. He doesn't put airs around what he says. Direct, transparent, that's how scientists should be. But sadly, that is not the way in our society. People who are very polished, they get to have this way of things, sadly. Professor Wadla-Konda used to say a lot about how Warburg and all these people,
Yes.
they messed
Yes.
up the whole
Yes.
biochemical understanding and all that. Very true, very true, very true. A lot of things what he said was very true.
But actually, I think there's also a group of field called integrative medicine. So which I attended a day before yesterday, one talk called Toxicity in the City in Hyderabad. So there were bureaucrats, there were doctors, there were scientists who came forward and kind of discussed these things. So they treat people already with multiple, reverse Warburg effect and all these things. So maybe you should kind of see like, hyperbaric oxygen therapy, chelation therapy. They're out of the world thing. Like,
Oh,
yes, sir.
very interesting.
Yeah, yes, sir. There's one doctor called Dr. Saxena here in Hyderabad. So his story goes like, his first son was autistic. And then they thought like they will never have kids because the second son also has chances for becoming autistic, but without knowing that his wife became pregnant. Then he got like intrigued. He was a radiologist practicing in Apollo. Then he went and read all the literature, and then he kind of cleaned her with multiple things, with chelation therapy and all the things. Now his son is an MBBS doctor in the second son is MBBS studying MBBS.
Wonderful.
And he built a community of people who does that, how to prevent autism or even cancers. So he treats these people there. So he holds this kind of conferences. And I think Dr. Murli, he kind of is the guy whom you should speak to because he's a practitioner, clinical practitioner. So he...
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. If you want to know what oxygen does in body, my theory, you cannot circumvent it. It's a completely different thing. Currently, oxygen is supposed to work only at complex 4 to make water. Yes. It doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I'm very happy to hear Dr. Saxena's story. It reminds me of the movie called Lorenzo's Oil. If you have a chance to see, all of you who are passionate, you must see Lorenzo's Oil. It's the same story. A father and it's a true story. Father and mother get to know that their child has got a metabolic disorder, fat metabolism disorder, and the scientists and doctors, they give up and they study biochemistry and they solve the problem. That's somewhat like Dr. Saxena did.
But what is the name of it? Lorenzo? Can you type
Lorenzo's Oil? I've written in the chat already. Lorenzo's Oil. It stars Nick Nolte and Susan Sarandon. It's a wonderful movie. It's a beautiful, inspirational story for people to take to biochemistry. And I feel so bad for modern people, modern physicians. They attack all these parallel systems of medicines without understanding them, without understanding traditions. There are a wealth of information in everything. Whatever we don't know, we just cannot sidetrack them, disregard them like that. First, we have to see them and then see, before we try to say something is wrong, try to study that first. That's a fundamental problem with our people nowadays. We disregard so many things without even trying to understand what they are. We are becoming more and more like, the rats in Pied Pipers of Hamelin. We are like those Hans Christian Andersen's Emperor's Clothes, those people who try to see things that don't exist. Like Dr. Prasad said, it is a societal temporal phases, it happens. We will tide over this.
I am agree with you, Dr. Murli, very much, because we know no doctor is bothering about, they are simply prescribing antibiotic. That's why this AMR issue will raises. That kind of issue, so many issues raises because they don't have basic understanding of these things, simply got the doctorate degree and all, prescribing people without any antibiotic sensitivity test and all they are prescribing. That's why this is kind of issue raises. Thank you.
It's become a very fast-paced life. Who can you blame? It's difficult, very, very difficult in the complex situation. Sorry, Dr. Prasad's venue. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah.
Murli, let me say. So the FABA Friday concept is a community building concept. The speaker, what we have is that to bring one topic, But actually what we encourage is people to open the cameras and mics and speak and build a community. What you are doing is inspiration even to everybody. For me, like I'm kind of battling the same what you put the Lorenzo side. I also had similar situation in my life. So it's inspiring me. So I think don't worry about Prasad sir or myself. Like what you are giving is inspiring. And this is what this FABA Friday's main intention is. Prasad sir, I think you all have to contribute this to FABA community. Why? Because, you know, even I was at Hetero Drugs today, speaking to Balreddy, the director of Hetero Biopharma. He was telling that the life science field is dying in India because people are comparing everybody with, software engineers. And after MSc, PhD, there is no growth at all. But unfortunately, bio is growing, but the fields are growing, colleges are dying, and the students that are coming out are crappy. So they don't even know how to hold a pipette, how to design a primer, how to do So this kind of
genuine problem.
Yes, sir. So I think we all have to contribute to build this life science community, because I think biotech is a boom and already happening now after the COVID.
Yes.
I wrote to our, I met our leaders. I wrote to WHO's, our Swaminathan, Soumya Swaminathan, and all that. COVID, they give oxygen, and it was doing, counter benefit. It was not really working. So what does oxygen do in the body? Can you believe that this is 21st century and people don't know about it? The most important thing in life, and I have said that I've been crusading for the last 25 years, particularly the last 6-7 years. The data that I've brought out, the arguments that I have brought out are so strong. But then what happens is people sidetrack you systematically, even though you are right. Even now, Science published my critical letter. After 2 months, it was online. They took it off. Because the editors they look stupid. The researchers look stupid. It's like that. I'm an ordinary Indian from Kerala, not attached to any lab. So how can something like that happen? It's a very, very big political issue. Science is very political. It's not necessarily whether 2 + 2 makes 4. It is how many people you have behind you who can say it is 3 and it is 5 also. Please, young people who start off science doing science, don't think that merit alone. Whatever Dr. Prasad pointed out, the interpersonal skills, the ability to take a lot of nonsense and build, disregarding the theoretical awareness, all that are more crucial than having a great theoretical idea. In real world, that really matters. Yeah.
We also see how Redana sir joined the session. So, sir, good morning.
Good morning. A very active this discussion debate is going on.
Yes,
I
sir.
thought
Good
it
morning.
is over.
Good morning, sir.
Very good evening, Prasad.
Yes.
So a lot of discussion is going on a big issue, major issue.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. So are there any further questions from the audience?
I think Murli, in the similar lines, Redana sir also shared some story about DNA vaccines. So in 2004, at the time itself, DNA vaccine was made from IISc professor. But regulatory officials in our country didn't approve it. But for COVID, after US or somebody else have approved, now Zydus Cadila is bringing one DNA vaccine for COVID. So I think novelty, unless it's proven by Western science, is difficult for us to prove it.
Oh yeah. I was so surprised when I went to ISC. I came to know that I think what I'm saying is true. Every 5 years, they still get professors from Cambridge and Oxford to ratify their research agendas and performances. I mean, I cannot believe this. I went and talked about my work to all DST, DBT, ICMR, CSAR, Principal Scientific Advisor's Office to make them see what I'm saying. But then They said, we don't have machineries to recognize new ideas. We can fund you. So this is a sad status. We need to do something about this. We need to do something about this. Yeah, but the entrepreneurship platform, and if it makes money, there is a definite change. Our government has made some changes and things are moving in that direction. Yes, but regulatory bodies, they have to.
Yeah, happy to see Noor Muhammad Garu back. Noor Garu.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. It's great to see all of you. One important question is that we have established the fact that this kind of a thing happens in medical field, like Lorenzo's Oil, the movie. We all know that innovation is subdued and it's not clearly encouraged unless it is ratified by the Western societies, the science societies. So what are we going to do about it? The important question is, how can we as Indians or our community, how can we address this issue? We all have established the fact that it is existing, it is rampant all over the world, but what are we doing as people who are in places where you can influence regulatory authorities, or you have an entrepreneurship platform wherein that ideas are planted well beforehand. So we need solutions for this problem. Rather than talking about the problem, we need to solve these problems. So how can we do that? That's the question in front of us. Yes, Dr. Prasad.
Sir, we should go the ISRO way. Don't care about the rest of the world. Do our innovation. Even reinventing the wheel is also very important sometimes. So let us reinvent and let us revalidate whatever people are telling and which we have been following. Instead, we will definitely go. We will definitely identify that whether we have followed the correct path or wrong path. And that self-respect, or maybe some words I'm using may not be good, but the intention is, let us believe in ourselves and restart, reinvent whatever has been told by the world. At least 10% of the people may have to work again on some of the concepts. And I definitely fully believe that some of the concepts are driven for identity crisis, not the genuine science aspect. So I have many ideas. Ideas means they are real natural phenomena which I have observed. Those things, if we pursue, definitely we will talk something totally different. But unless this mindset has to come out, means we should come out of this followership of 200 years or 1000 years of followership. Then definitely now it is the time, sir. And the country's leadership is showing us to wake up and take that path of your entrepreneurial mind. I don't say you need to be an entrepreneur, but an exploratory, unbiased scientist. Go and with full potential, explore and question everything that you believe is wrong. That's all. So it will happen, and it is happening. ISRO did it. We will do it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
what
say,
Prasad. So what Prasad was mentioning is exactly true. Our mindset has to change. We have been followers, but were never in the forefront. And whenever any kind of invention that goes to the regulatory body, they said nowhere in the world approved. Why? How we can do it? So that is the mindset that needs to change. So many innovations are coming up now, thanks to the startup ecosystem that is building up. But they are for a simple antibody-based detection of the COVID-19. With all our connections, we could not get the regulatory body approvals. The startup which has done all the work mainly to serve the society, just abandoned and then closed the shop.
Thank you, sir. You were telling me actually earlier.
Yeah. So such kind of things are happening, but I think the entire scientific community. Say ultimately, the drug controller again depends upon the body that is advising them, which is represented by the scientists from different disciplines. But the mindset of the scientists and the regulatory body and the government have to change. Anybody who wants to come conduct, phase 1 clinical trials in India, immediately the question comes, are we Indians guinea pigs?
Yeah.
Say, how can any drug be developed without conducting phase 1 clinical trials? So all the drugs that we are using today have been conducted like that. And the press immediately jumps into the, Indians are being used as guinea pigs. So there is need to educate the public. There is need to educate the scientists, everybody. I think that innovative mind has to come through. And as you are rightly pointing out, we should shed that thought of followers. We have to be the leaders, and hopefully the present generation will demonstrate that, follow the path of Chandrayaan 3.
Can I say something here?
Yeah.
When once Sachin Tendulkar started playing cricket and dominating the rest of the world and showed exemplary achievements, India took to cricket in a major way. And this is not a very humble statement, but what I have shown in Mudborn concept is something very simple that our countrymen can really build on and capitalize. Chandrayaan is good, but this Mudborn concept is something so fundamental that it explains practically the whole crux of life processes. It is going to change our perception of how fundamental processes occur in cell. So if you people can just give it your fleeting attention, you will see what I'm saying. So I'm taking this opportunity to advocate my idea, which disestablishes at least half a dozen Nobel already. So science is, in essence, critical in pursuit. If any of you want to be a good scientist, it is some people have written in the chat, it is very important that you be critical. You should be asking questions. If this is the way, how does it go further? So that's what I did. I asked questions. Doesn't matter which authority gives you explanations, unless and until it explains observations and stands the basic laws of physics, you don't buy it. So that's what we need to do in medicine also, all fields. One simple example, Mudborn concept, is about what oxygen does in cells. If we can show to the world that we, from India, have given this idea about what oxygen does in cells, we will dominate the world of life science. And this is not something that I'm just saying out of this. It is done as a strategy of 2.5 decades. So I request for your kind attention. Just after the talk, just indulge it for even a few minutes. You can go to my LinkedIn site and see my last 4 posts where I've shown 1 page quantitative dissection of 4 Nobels. So that's all. So there are people out there, original people out there amongst us who are doing great work. I would say I'm one. Please indulge my work, and others who claim they are doing great work. We should stop being too humble. We should assert ourselves, believe in ourselves, and take our flags forward. That's the way to go forward. Believe in self. If you start doubting too much, but do your homework also, have good concept. That's what I wanted to say to the young people who asked in the chat box. Trust yourself, but believe in good foundations first. Without knowing foundations, difficult.
I believe strongly about this idea of establishing a stellar example. Like all of us are inspired by examples. Like someone mentioned Sachin Tendulkar or ISRO or anything for that matter. So unless we don't set an example, people are not going to follow. And this is a critical aspect of critical thinking is not just for intellectuals or anything. It's for everybody. And this happens at the fundamental level, at schooling, in your home. This is where the fundamental change has to happen. If you want to be a critical researcher, you probably definitely have to be a critical student first in your first grade or KG or whichever level you are in. So unless this fundamental change doesn't come, we will always be followers. So it is important that we highlight the people who are doing amazing work, like Dr. Murli is doing, Dr. Redana sir is doing, or Dr. Burra sir is doing. So it is important that we highlight our innovations. I completely agree that we should not be submissive right now. We should assert ourselves and try to prove in a way in which our regulatory bodies are influenced in such a way that we make that move wherein this fundamental change, which is at the bottom, comes to true, true potential. Thank you. Yes.
Sir, I have a small comment here, or thought. Apple to make innovation, to come up with new creative ideas. It has created, it has started way back in 92 or so, concept of innovation a platform or something like that. So FABA is the right platform to identify, to call for completely crazy or completely means the scientist who is going to represent that this is the craziest idea, let him be given the option, means opportunity to speak. And the people, the other side who are sitting and listening, let them evaluate. The moment this particular person to some extent proves that, say, there is some logic. I don't want it to be a great logic, but there is some thing in this particular claim. Okay, we should push that particular idea, like currently ISRO has done. Such type of chances we can create by pushing certain ideas like this. So we have to FABA should create a platform, I think so, where it will call for those craziest ideas, completely groundbreaking ideas by scientists. First person, Dr. Murli will apply. Let us have him. We will evaluate, or we will see how and what is. He will do that because all people who are crazy, they will be very truthful also. So they will try to get evaluated by others. So like that, I will put my idea. Like with another 10 people, in these 10 to 12 ideas, let us push one idea and push it a little bit harder. No need of considering too what is it called, moral thing. And once that push comes, the rest of the world will look at it, and then one such encouraging signal will boost all the 12 which who have come. And if it is true, then all the 12 will be going to a next level. So I think that type of platform already exists in the form of FABA Academy and this FABA Fridays. So I think this initiative can be taken up right away also.
So there is something called Truth Talks that we initiated, sir. I mean, we couldn't launch it. We had 2 months back, then we stopped it because we couldn't read it.
The problem is FABA's hands have to be strengthened. And we have launched too many programs which we cannot afford with the resources that we have. But definitely, I think, entire thing is being done. Only about 3 or 4 people are organizing the entire FABA activities. Unless maybe that's a really very good idea, but definitely I think once so we gain that kind of strength and maybe have more number of people, more programs could be taken up.
I completely agree with you, Dr. Redana sir. In fact, I say that if you do a lot of things, then
Yeah.
it's just experimenting with a lot of stuff, but rather focusing on 2 or 3 core programs. Like this FABA Fridays has been a successful event. Why? Because there is consistency in it. There is sustainability in back of the mind. So unless we are not spreading out on a lot of things, rather focusing on 1 or 2 very important aspects in an organization, then the like-minded people will join in, and that's how you build a community. If you spread out a lot of things, then the energy is dissipated and people get burnt out as well.
Yeah. That's the thing.
We are 1.5 billion people. If we can get something to click, we will be the leaders. Believe me, I believe that this will happen. This is going to happen pretty soon. It will happen. It has to happen. We were leading once upon a time. We will lead again. It will happen.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe we also give opportunity to students like Sushri, Mangal, Vikram, Sarah, Zainab. Sushri left. Okay. Good. It's 9 o'clock, guys. So let's conclude it here. Sir Prasad sir, it was an enlightening session. I mean, I could correlate myself many times. Built and failed, built some companies and failed as well. So thank you everybody for joining. Thank you, Murli ji. I think there's a book called Originals from Adam Grant. I think that book is all about you. Okay. So thank you everybody. Thank you. Then see you next Friday. So next Friday, please don't miss it. So we have Professor Rajam, who is coming, who is a retired professor, who has kind of built up his profile in science. So he's going to share his life story, basically, like how you can make a career in science. So, and also I request everybody, whoever are attending FABA Fridays, if there are any things that we are not covering or the way how we want to proceed with FABA Fridays, let us know, because we are kind of bringing speakers from our side, but we are not getting any feedback from participants, like what they would like to hear, what exactly you want, because it's all for you. So we are not here just to get speakers and kind of, spend 2 to 3 hours, but there is something that value that we want to add. So give us some feedback. Tell us like what you would like to have. I mean, as of now, speakers we are able to get very, very good speakers, but look at the numbers that we are getting, like, maximum we are getting only 35, 40, which is actually very disheartening for me, because there should be hundreds that needs to avail the benefits of FABA Fridays. So I think whoever are attending FABA Fridays, you are not doing justice to your friends. So you need to circulate about FABA Fridays to all of your friends. They all should come here and they should get exposed to whatever you are getting exposed to. So we are doing it for, really helping people, and you should also help others. So next week, please spread a word about FABA Fridays. We should see at least 100 to 200 here. So that's all.
So Professor Rajam is a very accomplished scientist, specifically in RNA biology and its application to agriculture. So very distinguished scientist, I think, sharing his coming up from a small family in Warangal and all the way, becoming a professor at Delhi University South Campus. And he has published a number of papers and interacted with industries also. So such an eminent speaker, I think, next week. And we are also going to get Professor KPJ Reddy, former professor from Indian Institute of Science. I think that is also lined up. Jagdish, you need to give the time for him also.
Sure, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. Great, everyone. Bye for now. And if there are any questions, you can ask in the FABA Friday WhatsApp group.
Oh.
Good night. Good night.
Night. Night.
Bye-bye, everyone.